Hey guys, what's going on? Justin Masson from Nintendo Dads, fresh off of some sweet games that I played at Cologne, Germany at Gamescom. I'm going to run you down my top 3 Nindy games that I played so you can keep an eye out for them. Plus, I'm going to give one honorable mention. All right, guys, as you may have probably realized by now, Nintendo had the Indies highlight reel the day of or the day before Gamescom where they showed off a ton of games they were going to have there. So I got to play them. So let me tell you, first one that you need to keep an eye out for is Monster Boy. Now, Monster Boy is sort of a follow-up to Wonder Boy, which came out right when the Nintendo Switch came out. It's going to be releasing early November, I believe November 6th. Don't hold me on that one. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Beautiful art style, 2D platformer, where you need to finish off levels, you need to discover gear, you need to go exploring, you have the ability to switch into different animals to get through specific areas. It is a ton of fun, easy to control. There are special, it's got some Zelda-esque elements. It reminds me of, like, you need to find specific, there was an area I was playing at where I couldn't, going across a platform, I couldn't go any further. There was water underneath me. I'm like, okay, so obviously I have to swim. And I got in the water and I couldn't swim. And I was like, I couldn't dive. And I was like, well, I know I probably have to go down to go. Like, what am I doing wrong? And then I was talking to the guy, and he's like, yeah, okay, I'm not that bad of a game player. However, the game was in German, so I couldn't read any of it. So he's like, yeah, you go to that shop, you buy the gear, you buy the boots, which are iron boots, and the iron boots help you sink to the bottom of the ocean. I was like, there we go, perfect. And then he was kind enough to switch the translation from German to English. Awesome, thank you, guy who did that. So, you have to buy the gear and then do that. So there's a little bit of the Zelda-esque of, like, I have to buy upgrades to finish off level areas. So that was very cool. Beautiful game, easy to control. I absolutely loved it. So that is on my radar. Like, it's going to be a definite buy. If you liked Wonder Boy, if you like 2D platformers, if you like action adventure games, this is absolutely fantastic and not to be missed. Number 2 is The Garden Between. Now, The Garden Between is a very interesting game. This is more of an emotional puzzler game. And it is basically 2 friends, and you are kind of stuck in their memories. And each little island is an event where you have to kind of solve the puzzle for it, and you use time shifting it back and forth to solve the puzzles. Beautiful art style, very emotionally grabbing. This game is more about the storytelling. Like, this is not a hacker, this is not a slashing, this is a storied telling event. We argue sometimes, is video games art? This is a fantastic example of a game that is an artistic, I mean, all games are artistic, but this is a game that's trying to tell a story through very specific emotional triggers. And what you're essentially doing is you're running through these people's memories and parts of their life that they're trying to recall. And so the island will have stuff like, there's a VHS player, and or maybe there's a Nintendo, or there's a Game Boy, and you need to move time forward or backwards to either maybe turn on the device, and then to turn on the device it activates a lantern that you have to grab, and that lantern you have to bring to the final point. Absolutely beautiful. To be honest, this is very much maybe my indie game of the show. As much as I loved playing Wonder Boy, Monster Boy, this was a out of left field that didn't see it coming. Absolutely amazing game that I would highly recommend. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Again, if you're looking for a fantastic story-based puzzle emotional game, this do not sleep on this. Pre-purchase is now on the Nintendo Switch. I think that's September 20th that comes out, so that's definitely going to be on my radar for sure. The next one is Planet Alpha. Planet Alpha. I don't have my notes in front of me, I apologize. This is from the dev team over at Team 17. This is kind of cool. So this is like No Man's Sky meets Inside. It would be the best way I could describe it. So you wake up as kind of this alien space explorer guy on a planet. You're kind of injured. You begin to walk sideways. And then there are areas you have to jump through, explore, pull, activate switches. It's not a, it's like a side scroller, environmental puzzle game would be the best way I could describe it. Really, like literally the best way I can describe it is think of the game inside, but imagine it happened in No Man's Sky. That's kind of the thing. Really a lot of fun, really compelling. Again, puzzles like I need to move this block over here, or I need to stand here for this thing to break, and then that's going to flip over here, then I'm going to move that block over here, then that's going to allow me to climb up here. So very cool. I really, really enjoyed it. I just finished Inside actually, so it was kind of like had me in that headspace, and I was like, yeah, very beautiful, like lush backgrounds, lush environments. Definitely like there's a story there that I want to know more of. Like you crashed, you were hurt, what happened, what's your story? Yeah, so that's very cool. Check that one out. I don't know if that one has a date yet, so I apologize. And then my honorable mention is Killer Queen Black. Killer Queen Black was announced at E3. I had a chance to play Killer Queen when I was in Kansas City about a year ago at a barcade, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. Super excited for it to come to the Nintendo Switch, which it finally is. This was a really unfortunate game because they had put this like beside Splatoon, and there was only one thing to demo. And really what it is it's one game, but there's two screens, and there's 4 players on the side, 4 players on the side, and you're playing one match. Unfortunately, like, no one was ever there to play. Like, the most I ever saw there was like 5 people. So I kind of like jumped in the other team. I'm like, I'll play too. Okay, cool. So it's like it's 4-on-4 or 8 players was the environment they were trying to create there. Unfortunately, just not a lot of people went to it. And I think that's a pity because I think it's a fantastic game. I loved playing it. I don't know if they announced an online feature. I hope they do. Because I hope it's not going to just be played locally, because that's going to be really tough for 8 players. But I really enjoyed Killer Queen Black. It's a game I'm going to pick up. Probably not play it a ton like by myself, because there's no single player campaign. But it would be a fantastic party game. And if they could have a solid online infrastructure, I don't know if they do or will or not, it's going to just be absolutely fantastic. So, guys, those are my 4 games, or 3 plus an honorable mention from E3's Indie Corner that you need to be looking out for. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Which indie game did I miss, and which one are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for tuning into Nintendo Dads. Bye-bye.